or SAP to non-SAP?
Yes, you can say that now as before the SAP had Informatica was the leading point, but as of now SAP has conquered data services. So it was BODI, and when SAP has taken up it became SAP Data Services. In data SAP BODI, it was data integrator, in which data quality was not included. If you can check it out. Okay. And coming to DS, when it has changed to data services, data quality, data profiling, text data, everything has been included. Okay. And this is not the product of SAP, but you can say that it has been bought by BO himself from your ATA BO. Then SAP has bought it, made it as SAP Data Services. So it's a purely sorry, it's a purely ETL tool, you can say, where we can migrate it from non-SAP systems, legacy systems. For example, you can get it from SQL Server, Oracle, and any flat files or any old databases from IBM with different adapters. We can connect it, and we can load into the non-SAP and SAP systems. Okay, so in this SAP Data Services, mainly we'll be looking for the data quality side, or just one-to-one mapping, one-to-many mapping, data profiling, text data processing, many things. So this is actually SAP Data Services, you can say. Okay. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Carry on.
Yeah. So, if you have seen the data services anytime, it is only one screenshot. Only in one web application only we'll be playing with everything. So we won't be moving from this screen to screen. So in only one screen we'll be moving from jobs, everything. So you have only one front end. You can say front end is only one screenshot. Okay. Where see ETL data services is mainly used for moving, improving, govern, and unlock. So for example, if you want to extract and transform and load data from almost any data source, you can say. So I will be talking about only some of the data sources. For example, SQL, flat files, Oracle, and SAP ECC, SAP BW as source. These all. But other than this, many other there like HANA, others also can be connected. And coming to the IBM databases through adapters, other things also we can connect. In the same way, loading into target side will be anything except an Excel. Data services will not load the data into an Excel. Okay. So if you come to the, for example, if the data is little bit of unstructured or structured data, then that can be done here. Then the quality of the data can be changed. For example, as you are in US, you can see that if a dictionary, for example, of your house address is in a PIN number and PIN number is in the column of cell number. So those things can be clearly changed and put into the same column. For example, if your cell number is in populated at the PIN code number, and PIN code number is populated in the cell number, then those does not match. But when we use data quality USA data cleans transformation, that time we can convert the data into same thing. Okay, we can match it properly, and we can consolidate it, and we can put in where exactly it fits. Like that we can. So if you come to BODS architecture level, see, main thing we require is repository. From repository itself, we can first of all, repository is nothing but a set of tables, you can say. Okay, a repository is nothing but a set of tables. 1 second.
Background noise.
So coming to the architecture side, if you say it's a repository main thing, where we can say that backend DB, where converted DB into repository. For example, once if you create a repository in SQL Server, we first will be creating the database for that. Then we'll come to the management console and we'll create a local repository or a central repository or a profiling repository. So with that, we'll create a repository where a set of tables have been created, where we can read the different types of, where we can read the metadata of a database, everything. So that is called a repository. And coming to the management console, where we can, management console is nothing but where we can, if you connect to a BO CMC, if you are, as your background is BO, I can tell you BO CMC when you connected. For DS and BO, it's 4.1 has same CMC. But at the tab, you have to select data services. So if you select data services, then it will go into the data services CMC, where we can, admin work can be done, any documentation can be taken out, users can be created, and give the security. Then we can see the job dashboards, and so these all can be done at management console. Designer side, if you go designer side, we will be looking for creating a job, workflow, local object library will be there, everything will be there. Okay, and coming to the data services service, where we'll have job server and access server. Job server is actually used when we create a batch job. Batch job is nothing but we can tell that it's we can tell that it's just migration. And a real-time job, we have two types of jobs: real-time jobs and batch jobs. Batch jobs means already the data is there in the databases that we are migrating to the some other thing. So that is called batch job. And real-time job is nothing but will be this one will be used with real-time clients access server, where we can, when we click web, when a web application is button is clicked, that time the access server will come in picture, and the database, that DB will contact with the BODS, and BODS will ask access server to go to the database and update the column whichever they want and get back to the web application. That is real-time job. That is access that comes in picture when access server comes. Job server will be used mainly for batch jobs, which we use job server only will be using most of the jobs. And dictionaries and directories are nothing but, as I said, that when data quality comes in picture, we'll be using dictionaries and directories of different countries, and we'll be storing those. And according to that, we'll be updating global address links transform, US address links transform, match transform. We'll be using all this data quality in dictionaries and directories. Address server. See, if you come separately as a designer, the designer is a development tool, you can say. As I said, that we can use to develop jobs, everything. Job execution, job development, data flows, workflows, everything. The repository, it's a set of tables. Only first when you create a database, it will be empty. But when a repository is created, a set of tables will be created according to the rules. So which will, once the job server is connected to the database, that will become a repository, and a set of tables will be automatically generated. So we have three types of repositories, you can say: local, central, profile. Local repository means, for example, if in a project, myself, you, and other three to four of them are there. So we'll be using a local repository where we'll create a jobs. I'll be creating my module job, you'll be creating your module job, others will be creating their module. So these all will be put into central repository where we have to give the output. So the central repository is a multi-user development, you can say. So it will be check-in and check-out way, and it will take all the local repositories and come into one place. Profile repository will be logging into the local repository. We'll be logging into the local repository first, then we'll be getting the profile. Then we'll go to the tables which have to be profiled. So for that, we'll be going to tools and we'll be getting profile repository. Click on profile login. So at that time we'll get the database profile login credentials and we'll go into the profile repository. Hello? Hello?
Yeah,
Can you
Sai.
hear me, Sai?
Yeah, are you able to understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, fine, yeah.
So you have any questions, then you can stop me.
Okay,
Could you
yes.
please explain again profile repository, Sai?
Yeah, profile repository, see, this profiling will be doing, you can say that, for example, now I have, I'll take simple example. I have employee table and customer table. So when I drag on the designer, so I'll be actually entering through local repository. So whenever you want to enter into a designer, you have to give your username, password, then you have to select the repository. There will be, there under it will be displayed according to your username what repository is given to you. When you log into it, you will open it. So profile repository you cannot log in like that. First you have to log in into local, then you have to go to tools. There you'll have profile server login. If you click that, then it will ask for the profile repository details. So when you enter into that, then we can go to the tables whichever you want to do profiling. If you want to do on customer table, you have to click on customer table and profile.
Do you have access for BODS? If you have access, will you show us on the designer?
Yeah, 1 second. I'll see there because I'm connected to first time and I don't know how to connect to their server because I'm not. Profile repository, I'll show you, no problem. That is but mainly we'll be using local repository. 1 second. This is mine, I think. Because I'm sharing their server. Charging levels.
Charging low now.
So no, I don't think I can share because I don't see their designer jobs BODS server because today is the first
Okay,
time
that's
and
fine.
to, yeah, and because I didn't get any username password from them still.
Okay.
So for example, as I said, when we create a database, we have to convert that one into repository first. So for that, we'll be going to the management console, where CMC, and we'll give some repository ID. For example, start programs repository manager. See, if you go to, for example, if BODS is installed, then you will go to start programs. Then here it will be BODS installation. There in down of it, we'll get a repository manager, server manager, CMC, everything will be getting in this way. So in that way, repository manager can be opened. There it will show you in that drop down. It will show you local, central, profiler. So first we will be creating local repository if you require, then profile, then central repository, whatever required. So like that we'll be creating the repository. So to register a repository in the CMC, you have to log into the DOCMC in 4.1 with administrator rights. Okay, you should have administrator rights. Otherwise, you can't open central management console, and you can't do any admission rules, or you can't schedule your job. You can't do. Or if you are just a developer and don't have any access to it, then you have to just designer in the designer only. You have to play yourself. You cannot go to the CMC. So once if I get the server logins, everything, I'll show you all these details. It's not an issue. Okay. And coming to the two types of repositories, local and central repository, we can just give local repository name and the IDs, everything, and we have the job server level, we have to configure it. For if you're a profile repository, if you're doing, you have to click it, choose a S for is profile repository. Okay, and give the host name and port number for everything. Then you have to test the connection. If it's successful, it will show you for a profile repository. And this is just how to save it. So coming to the administration side, if you have to create users who want the repository, everything, then we have to go to the CMC and click manage security user settings. Add principals, give the users names, who has to get what access to which repository, who shouldn't get what access, everything you can do in the admin side in the CMC. Okay. Coming to the designer, I'll show you the designer screenshot, some of the screenshots I'll show you. See, data services actually has two types of objects, you can say reusable and single usable objects. In the local repository, reusable objects will be there, we can reuse it, and we can then reuse the definition as often. Okay, and single use means only once it can be used. For example, single job or data flow. For example, scripts if you write, for example, for a job, if you're writing a script, for example, why we will write a script means now we have an Oracle database where we will run BODS job only when Oracle is updated. For example, if Oracle is updated from a flat file you think, and BODS is connected to that Oracle. But if the Oracle database is still running and if the job starts, then it's no use. So first Oracle has to complete the all the circle. So what we'll do is, if we'll put a flag where if Oracle database is updated, that will change into Y. So according to in BODS job, we'll write a script where we'll see for if and else, where we'll see if it is yes, then only we'll continue the job. Otherwise, if in Oracle side it is N, so it means that Oracle is not yet updated. Then what we'll do is, if it's N, we'll come out of the job, we'll say the job is not executed successfully, but due to N at Oracle side, as it is not updated, we are out of the job. We'll show it. We'll write the script in that way. Those are the single use objects. See this this will be the actual screen. Okay, and here in the first block you can see project area. So here what we'll do is we'll write project, means we'll create a folder called project, then a batch job, then a workflow, then a data flow. In the data flow, we'll have all the transformation logics, what tables has to be imported, what transformation has to use, what is the target. So in the first one, in the local object library down of it, where we'll create a data store. A data store is nothing but whenever you want to connect to a source system or a target system, first you have to create a data store. Data store means where we import all the tables, what required. For example, in Oracle, we want to connect to the source. So what we'll do is we'll create a data store in the local object library. Yeah, this one will be the data store one. When you click it, it will right click it and show it new. It will open a data store. In down it will be there. I'll show you all those in the screenshots. So here we'll create a data. We'll import the tables. We'll import for example, if BW is target for us, we'll import the master data, transaction data source of BW, and master data source of it, we'll import it. So from here, in the data store for Oracle as a source, we'll pull this table. For example, this is you can say that this is Oracle table if you say. Then we'll import this one here. Then this query will be the transformation. For example, if it's now it's one-to-one mapping and no logic is written, we'll put it here. And if this is a temporary table or a flat file or a BW target, then we'll get it from a local object library, that target data store, and we'll put it here, make this as target. Then we'll connect it. So this data will be moved to the target. This is the designer. And here top it will be project, edit, view, tools. As I said, that profile, when you want the tools you can log in, and debugging and validations, everything. And here also the down tool plate, everything will have, and here and then below of local object library also we have all the tool plates. And coming to this part at the where my mouse is clicking, you can see this is a job server. This should be green every time. This one. If it is red, means it shows that your job server is not running. So you cannot execute your job. But there are other ways to execute the job, but you should have the, what you say, CMC address, CMC user ID password. So you will be one of the admin, right? So whenever if a job server is not running, we can go to central management console and run our job from there also. So no need of running from project area itself. In project area, in this project, if you just right click new job underscore 3, right click and execute, it will execute here also. But if the job server is in red color, into mark will be in red. So then we have to go to the central management console and run the job. Then only it will be possible. Otherwise, it cannot be executed. So if you go here, if you see in the menu bar, project, edit, view, everything will be there. Project menu, edit menu, view, tools, debug, validations, windows, help. In the menu bar it will be there. And so these all, see for example, close windows, it will be in this manner. Local object library will be in this structure. Central object library, project area, output, icon tool, everything will be in this manner in our data services. So validate all objects in all. So we have two validates. See, this is validate current view, only means that will validate only to the, for example, that screen itself. And validate all objects in view means that will validate if you have validations for all the jobs. So it will validate all. It will save and validate full job. Okay, we have two validations. And if you go here, for example, designer monitor log, you'll have here this one in the, between of local object area and project area, designer monitor log. Here designer means it will show you this part, job, workflow, data flow, everything. And monitor means it will show you the when job is running, what happens, what's going on. Log, it will show you the errors, if anything is errors you are going, the history of complete job. Okay. And this is in the project area. For example, in class under the expression is a new folder job, you can say. When you create a new project, it will in a file, new project, it will show you. When you create class underscore exercise, it will be a project. So under that in class exercise, if you right click it, it will show you batch job and real time job. So that will be, if you take a batch job, it will come in this manner. Then again, after creating batch job, you have to from tool plate, you have to take this workflow here in the starting of it. Here the workflow you have to put it into the designer. And again, if you right click also you can get it, but in the tool plate is there, just will push it here. Then data flow. Then in the data flow is you can say that data flow is it will act as workflow ask, and workflow will work on according to the job. So in many jobs we'll try to exclude workflow also. That is also possible. No need of putting workflow in every way. But when scripts comes in pictures or some exceptional comes in, then workflow is important. Otherwise, if it's a simple job or something like that, then workflow can be omitted. But as a good practice, you have to maintain workflow also. In the data flow, we have all the different. For example, it is where we'll use our logic, where we'll use our transformations, where we'll push the data, everything. And in a project, we can have multiple jobs. Means we can have multiple of batch jobs, everything. So in this class exercise, we have 5 jobs. You can say job underscore cust underscore brim, job underscore mtr, and everything has its own naming conversation. For example, if you are maintaining job, that job, then you have to give job underscore that name. workflow WF, data flow DF, and a query. It's written query, but actually it will be QRY underscore customer. QRY underscore customer. And if you are writing script, SCP underscore that job name or your table name, whatever it is. So you have to maintain the naming convention. See, as I said that this is from, if you see, this blue color is a workflow, then this is a data flow, and this is above data flow, then this is a query transformation, and this is a template, temporary table you can say. If you want, if you are putting the data in, for example, now what we'll do, we'll be moving data from source to staging area 1, then staging area 2 to target. So staging area 1 will be in some, for example, if you are putting a staging area, there we'll put it into the database where we'll create a temporary table. So that time this after query, this will come in picture. And this is a script, then this is a control flow. As I said that control flow is used as if and else. As I explained you before itself. For example, in Oracle, if it is Y, then only the job should run. If it is N, the job should exit. So that time we'll go with control flow framework. And this is try catch. And this is if you want to put any, for example, I have made these changes, like that you can upload this. So in a workflow we can have in a job we can have many workflows. We can have many. Not only one workflow is important. Will be there. Not only one data flow will be there. We'll have number of data flows. For example, what is this? Yeah, in a job, we can have number of workflows and number of data flows. For example, if you take my old example here itself again, I'll tell you when I see, for example, if I'm doing a delta load from Oracle to BW, what I'll do is I'll take a data flow where if it is Y, it will go into that data flow and it will fetch that run date. For example, the date and run number. It will fetch it and it will take the maximum of it. And it will execute the job. And what we'll do is, I'll put it in another data flow. I'll take another data flow and write into a text file. For example, I'll write that run date into this text file. So whenever tomorrow when delta load comes up again, I'll check with this text file whether in the Oracle side this text file has the maximum of it or not, max data of it. If it has more records, then only it will run. Otherwise, if the same date number is same, then it will fetch only 0 records. So like that, number of data flows can be there, all this. Okay, as I said that in the after project query, we have local object library where we'll be creating a data store. ODS underscore DS is nothing but a data store name which we have given. So this will be, for example, this is source data source you can say, and for target also will be creating. So in this functions and tables. So whenever we click tables in the designer, it will open what tables are there in the Oracle or SQL, whichever is the source of you. So then go to the correct table whichever you want, right click it, import it. So when you import at the designer level, it will come and fall into the local object library here in this. So we have imported customer, delivery, employee. So customer, then this can be used as a source of it. Otherwise, if it's not done, then here in the tables, no tables will be there. So first we have to import it. Import all the tables, required tables for the source, required tables for the target, everything. Then only we can use in the source system and data source. This one. See, this is in the designer side, where, for example, if you open a query transformation, as I said that we have we have a program, then query. So if you double click this query, that query will come into this picture. Where see, this is the table of input schema and this is the output schema. So we'll be mapping from here to there. So we'll just drag and map it to this sales to sales, factor to factor, this. And one more thing, in our target side, no column should be left blank. Otherwise, at least you have to send hard-coded data. But at the source level, if you want to map only three columns, you can leave the other column. But at the target level, you have to map each and every column. Otherwise, you have to hard-coded value. And here, if you come down, it will show you once you map, you can see the mapping condition here. Then you have select, pair conditions, outer lines, everything, group by, every mapping we have in the query transformation. So data stores, if you see, I'll show you. Okay. So data store, I've written some of them here. For example, as a source, you can connect to Oracle, IBM DB2, Informatics, Sybase IQ, Microsoft SQL Server, Sybase, ODBC, HANA. I haven't written HANA, but it can be source and target. And formats, for example, Excel will be a source, and Notepad with delimiters will be a source, everything. And it consists of metadata, consists of database tables, table name, column name, if any primary key, all this. See, if you click, as I showed you, you have to right-click the data store. Then it will open this pop-up will come up. We'll give data store name. Data store type, it will be databases or SAP application, whatever you have to select according to that. For example, if we are writing Oracle, then database type Oracle. If it is CDC applied, just click this box. It will be CDC. Then database version will be, you have to give whether it is 10i, 11g or whatever it is. Then what is the connection name between, for example, if it is dev, what is the connection between yours and you'll have a connection for Oracle, right? That you have to give username, password, everything. Then okay. Then this this will be created as source data store, you can say. And if you go to the advanced picture, for example, here we'll be giving these all can be done after in the job level also. Rows per commit 1000. We can give it as 5000 also. And for bulk loader directory, we can load in Oracle. We have one more option, bulk loader, which SQL does not have. So what happens is we can load the bulk data. Easily you can throw the bulk data. It means you can push full data from database to the current. See, as I said you that we have to import it. So whenever you right click it, it will show you this option, import. So whenever you import this customer, then only it will go and fall into the local object library. So like this you have to re-import it, import or re-import. Whenever a database table has changed at the database level, every time we have to re-import it, because these tables whichever we have in here cannot be every time updated whenever database is. So whenever if it is updated at database or BW side or anywhere, again we have to re-import that one. Then only BODS will take a new one. Otherwise the old structure will be considered. So if first time you import it and next time after 2 days if the structure has changed, then again we have to re-import it. If the data at the database level it is records is been increasing, then no need of importing it. Structure I'm telling about the structure. See, this is local object library. Same. These are ABC underscore. So these are the data stores which has been created. And in the down tool plate, you'll have projects. This is our project area. This is jobs. You can have batch jobs, everything here. Workflows here. Then data flows. Then transformations, different transformations. We have 4 types of transformations: data integrated, data quality, text data processing, and platforming data we have. That then we have data stores. Data stores is nothing but which we can see on the screen now. And formats, in formats we can formats we have a flat file, Excel, XML, everything. Then if you are writing any custom functions, then you can write these custom functions also. Are you able to understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I can understand.
Hello? Hello? You people there?
I'm here.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us? Yes, it's
Yes.
okay. Yeah, you can carry on. Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
So this is also again same thing, whichever we are re-importing. As I said, if you have to re-import, then you can re-import here. And as I said that we have four types of transformation. You can say data integrator. Okay, in that we have date transfer, date generation transform. Date transfer, it will split the dates of however you want. Date generations, it will create a date for that. And in data integrator, we have effective date, hierarchy filtering. Hierarchy filtering is nothing but if hierarchy you have to use, you can go and history preserving for preserving the old and update the new one records everything. History preserving transformation is there. Where we'll be using for SCD type 1, 2, 3, we'll go with history preserving. Then we have key generation. Key generation is nothing but surrogate key, you can say. And you are, as you have a BO background, then I think surrogate key, you know what surrogate key. In the key generation, we can create the surrogate key. Then we have a map CDC operation. That's also one of the data integrated transform. So mainly we'll be using here are query transformation, which must. Then history preserving, we mostly. Then table comparison, key generation will be used, and pivot if required. And pivot columns to row. For example, if your column is in your database, it is column displayed, and at the target level you want to display at the rows level. Then you can use transform pivot, and in the reverse pivot you can rows to column, you can say. And XML pipeline is used when XML data is used. XML, for example, your source is XML. Then we have to get DTD and XML. So for that XML file, we have to use XML pipeline transform, which is specially for XML. So we have to import the XML pipeline transform, and then only we can use source as XML. Again, the next is data quality transformations. In data quality, we have associate data cleans, global address cleans transform, country ID transform. So with these all, but for data quality transform, we require special license for it. Other data integrator platform is all will be present in the DODS. But if you want to apply for data quality, for time being it will be there. But as you are running your project for long term, then the SAP may remove it. So before that, you have to take the license, data quality license. The data quality, we have match transform, US regulatory address cleans transform, global address transform, and data quality. I have put data table comparison, but does not that table comparison does not come in data quality. It is other transformation. It comes in platform. And data quality user defined. See, in platform, table comparison platform. Here we have case transformations, map operations, merge transformations, query transformations, row generation transformations, SQL validation. Merge transformation is nothing but if you have two files. For example, two flat files you have, and you want to throw full data into the one output table. But for merge transformations, your data type should match. For example, if you are employee name in one flat file and employee name in other platform has varchar of 1 in one table and varchar of 14 in other table, then the merge transform does not work. So we have to first compare these data types. So for that, if you want to change, you can use query transform before merge, then change the data type, then it will use merge transformation. So merge transformations can be used to merge both the data. Query transformation is everywhere we'll be using, and row generation transformation means we can create a new row starting with 0 or incrementing by 1. Anything. SQL transformation is SQL transformation means we won't put any source table. For example, you can say that it does not have any source. Means it not means that it does not have a source. We'll write a query in SQL transformation stating that select star from employer. So what it will be, we'll write that query in the transformation. So when you run that update schema, automatic all the from employee tables or whatever the columns are there, it will automatically print. So we know of pulling a table into the source, making source. So validation transformations, we can write rules for it. For example, we can write validation for see if it exists, then do this, then go there. In the same way, case transformation is also there. Yeah, case transformation is also there where we'll be writing rules. For example, in case transformation, what we'll do, if it is 1, then go to output as 1. You can have number of more than one output, you can say, target tables. Target tables can be more. If it is 1, go to that table. If it is 2, go to this table. If it is 3, go to this table. From single source, many outputs. That will come for case transformation. Data quality transformation, as I said, we have address cleans, data cleans, match transformations, global address cleansing uses. So these all will come under data quality transformations, where will as I told you before itself, if your PIN number is printed in zip code and zip code is printed in the cell number, then according to the dictionary directories will be address cleans transformations will check and will populate the data according to the dictionary directories and cleans the data and will give the output. For USA regulatory address, we have to have US authorization. We have for that USA regulatory address streams transform. For other transformations, we can use global address streams. So as you know, I think cleansing means, for example, as I told you before itself, how to clean the data and move it to the different. For example, in Oracle, if you have special characters or junk values, which is not acceptable at the BW side or target level, and they want clean data, then we will use this data cleanse transformation. If the quality is not there, then we'll write scripts or we'll do something. But if the data cleansing transformation is there, then we'll create a batch job. You can create directly here, or you can create on the folder itself. Right click means you'll get batch job, real job. So you have to select batch job, it will become a batch job with the batch job name. Then coming to the right side, where workflow will be there, you have to pull down to the designer. So this way, this workflow will come here. Okay, double click on the workflow, you'll get again open spaces. Data flow should be pulled. Again, double click on data flow, we'll have source table, whichever we have imported from your database. Then we have created data store that will take as next source. For example, if it's a flat file, we'll go to formats. As I showed you that project, work, batch job, workflow, data flow, transformations, data stores, then formats, then custom function. Formats will create a new. For example, if it's a flat file, then a flat file cannot be imported from database. So we have to create, we cannot create a data store for formats. For as I said, that we'll be creating data store for source system and target system. If the client gives you the source system as a flat file, then we'll create a format. We'll right click the format, you'll get new. Then in the new, you'll create new flat file, it will come. There you have to give the name of the flat file, then root directory and file directory. Root directory is nothing but where the structure, where the file stores. For example, if it stores on desktop, you give the desktop address, then file name. In the desktop, what is the file name? That one you'll select it. Beside that folders are there, you can just browse and get it. And we can say skip row header, it will be no, you have to make it yes, so that headers populate. And here it will be delimit, the first column. Then after general, down of general, you have type delimited. So you can make it a delimited, and in the delimiters column, you have comma. So what we'll do is, in a notepad, if it's a comma, it will take, you can do it, but it will be a big, little bit tough to check whether after this column, the other line is starting or not. So what we'll do is, we'll ask the client to change comma if it's a flat file, not to give as comma separator there, but give as pipe or any other thing, exclamation or pipes. Mostly we'll be using pipe. So we'll change this column as a pipe. If it's a pipe in there, we'll change it to a pipe. Then then skip row header it will be there. So after importing it, you'll get the structure here itself, whatever is there in the flat file, in the notepad or in notepad you can say flat file, then the structure will be populated as it is populated here. Then save and close. Okay, this will be the structure. See, once if it is done, once you have given all the details, delimited name of the flat file, then the root directory, file name, then column it is comma. If it's pipe, you can give pipe. Then it is skip row header, yes. Then the structure will be whatever the structure is there in the flat file which is has source, that will be done. So this file will be used as a now it will now in the formats it will that file name will be there present where we have imported. So that will pull it at the designer level and make it as make source. You can drag it on a designer page. So it will show you as make source or make target. We'll say make source because this one we are pushing data from this to the target. So we'll make it as make source. Then we'll use a basic transformation that is called query transformation, where it's in platform, where it will in the right side you can there, or you can check it out at the local object level. Anywhere you can just drag it here. Drag the transformation, then match from to open the double click the query transformation, and at the source level whatever the columns you have selected, that will you have to just map select it and push it to the query transformation. Just drag to the other side of it. Just drag it like this. Just drag that one. It will move to the table. It will move to the otherwise select it, right click it, you'll get map to output. Just click that map to output, it will go and fall into the query transformation. See, once a map to output is done, you can see here it is now. You can see the structure means the level. It is a pipe thing, but when it is mapped, it is changed to triangle. And here you can query transformations. You can see two triangles. One is dark and one is light blue. Because this is done because you are writing something in from clause or some other extra decode functions or some other extra things which you are writing. It is coming. That is what it shows two more. With just a single mapping, it will show you single triangle. So in the same way, mapping it will show you this column is mapped to which column of the source in the mapping. See, as I said that two triangles are showed because we have toDate function we have used. We have used toDate function. Why we have used it? We are converting from varchar. toDate function we have used to convert it. So that is what it is showing toDate. So some extra function has been written for that. So it will show you the two triangles. And after doing that, we'll drag from, for example, if you are pulling temporary table, then it will just drag it from right side, right click, make as target. Or if you have a data store of it, then see the table, whichever you want to push the data, pull that one, drag that one and make it as target. Then this will be bulk loader options, whatever. For example, rows per commit, for Oracle it will be 5,000. And this is the performance issue you can say. So this all will what will do is it loads the data fast. So performance issue you can say this all from target level. So after, for example, once the mapping is done to the target level, at the top of it we'll have validation button as I showed you, that full validation and single page validation. We'll save it and then validate full job. Then at the project area we'll execute it and it will show you how many records have been done and everything. It will show you what time it started, what time it ends, everything it will show you. So like that the job executes. You have any questions in this PPT?
No, Syed, I'm okay.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. So actually nowadays what happens is we are migrating from data BODS 3.2, 4.0 or 4.1. So what are the main steps? I'm just written some 5 steps which I have given PPT in my company also. I'm sharing that one also. You can say when you're migrating data from an older version of 3.2 or 4.2, 4.1 or 4.0, what you have to do, what you have to take care, everything you have to do. In the CMC, you have to see that every repository is backup, everything, and we have to see whichever in data service design tool CMC we have to take the backup of the repository, jobs, everything before migrating to the next level. So you can say in the 4.1 we have some more new options which have been done. So some of them are word ext, word underscore ACC, concat underscore date underscore time. What this function does is this concat date underscore time, it will concatenate the field, date field and time in one function, which is not there in the previous version. That new function is added here. And word underscore ext is also new function here. For example, we have some name, 2 names, which is separated by a space or something like that. Then the two field names can be written into 2 different columns. So that new function is added in this 4.1 again. And we have text data processing. If you go to the older version of text data processing, it will only support only one type of file. Okay. So text data processing in before version it will support only EML files. It will not support any other Word file or any file. It will support only .eml file before 4.1 or 4.0 you can say. So 4.0 also it supports only .eml. In 4.1 it supports Microsoft Word also, then PowerPoint, Excel, PDF, RTF, Outlook, IMS, all this. So these all can be used as a source also and target also. So before text data processing was used only for the .eml file only it was there. But now it has increased to this all formats. So the fourth other option is a fly option. For example, we can see the output structure only when we execute the job before. For example, we want to see from source, we know what is there, but in target how it is populating. So for that we have to execute the job and then only we can see. But in the 4.1 we have a fly option. So if you click the query transformation debugging mode, we can see the structure, what it will be the output before executing the job itself. So we can compare source and target, whether we can check it out before itself. Yes, the output which is coming out is what I require or not. And is the workbench. This way you won't be using much of it. So here when upgrading, what should we take care? When upgrading, what? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yes, can you hear me? Yeah, carry on.
ఏమైనా అడిగారా అన్న?
లేదు క్యారీ ఆన్ మీరు.
ఓకే. మనం అప్గ్రేడ్ చేసేటప్పుడు what are the steps you have to follow, what we have to take care when you are upgrading, those all steps I have written here also. So these are the steps, you can just check it out and see. So these are the steps I have written. That's all. Also, Whenever you update,
Nowadays, I think most of the companies doing migration work only, right, Syed?
Sorry?
Nowadays, all of the companies migrated from older version to new version, or they are working on 4.1 version?
So it totally depends. See, it's not like that. It depends on the client. The client now, if he wants to
Because
implement
from last few months,
so he'll go directly with
few months
4.2. 4.2 is not even in the picture now. Mostly we are using 4.0.
Okay.
4.0 and currently 4.1. 4.2 has been in the market, but still not in the offices. Might be in US or somewhere the people might have been used, but and in Indian level we are still in 4.1.
Okay. And what are the new features in 4.1 if you compare in 4.0 to 4.1?
4.0 as its first 5 features are there. First five.
Okay.
Is what TXT, then text data processing is used, fly option is there, contact data is there. These are the main. Other things have been also there, which have been. So these are the main 4.1 upgrades you can see. Or you can, as I said that we can see that before loading itself, we can see the target data, all those new features.
Okay.
If you have any questions, you can ask me. As I don't have any BODS designer, username, password, or the software.
Can you hear me?
Once it is done, once that is shared, then I would have showed you how to create a job example also. Simple job also.
Hi, Syed, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me now?
Yeah.
I got a couple of questions, how many versions of data services are there?
How many?
What are the versions, for business objects? You got like 3.5, 6.5, XAR2, XAR3, like business objects.
Currently we are in 4.1, we have 4.0 also, we have 3.2, we have more, before that also is there, but I have started working from 3.2, 4.0, 4.1.
Okay, I think there is a new release in 4.2 as well. Is it 4.2 also available, or is it only 4.1? Until only 4.1 do we have now?
No, in the market 4.2 is released, but at the company's level, at the client's level, still we are in 4.1, you can say.
Okay, maybe I'm asking you, wise question maybe. Why only data services? Why not like Informatica or something else?
See, why data services means this is much more user-friendly, you can say. So whatever it is there, it is drag and drop and only simple is a drag and drop and everything is ready-made, you can say. But Informatica, you have to do I believe you have to do much more things to get the merge transformation. You have tried many things. But here you have a merge transformation automatic and you can just merge it properly without any complications. And it's a user-friendly, you can say, SAP BODS. And that's
in this on the slides, you only talked about Oracle, when you want to do a data migration from an ECC or a BW or into HANA, will you give us any overview on these things like data migration, migrating from SAP or non-SAP to SAP?
Yeah, see, as I said, Oracle is non-SAP, but I'm loading data to BW, SAP. So that time what we'll do is BW and BODS is connected to RFC connection.
Okay.
Remote function call connection. So that connections we have to create a source names which we will be using as RFC connection name, program ID. That will be using as a drivers. And when we create a data store, it will tell you that BW target we have to create a BW target. At the advanced structure we have to give client number, system number, then routing string /h/ which shows that it's a local system or the IP address wherever the BW is there. So these all will be there at the SAP side, which you have to get connected first. And Oracle side, as I showed you before itself, it's a direct connection. But for Oracle, if you are going to the BW SAP side, in the data store itself, you have to select SAP application, then whether it is SAP BW target or SAP ECC, whatever is there, and depends on that, you have to give the connection names RFC connections you have to see. You have to create a source for that. Then the program ID, whichever RFC is there, that has to be used in the BOTS CMC RFC connection will be there. There you have to give that name, and in the BW side you have to give that name so that it get connected. So these all will be there.
Okay. When we migrating data to HANA, can we use Informatica and some other tools? Or can we need to use only data services? Or can we use Informatica as well?
According to my knowledge, HANA has only 4 ways to load the data. One is BODS, one is SLT, one is Sybase, another one is something. And I don't think Informatica can load into the HANA.
Okay. But when it comes to projects, what kind of projects have you already done? You done only on a ETL perspective, or you also done data migration?
Data migration, for example, we have done data migration. We have done the projects for loading data from non-SAP to SAP and SAP to SAP, SAP ECC as source and SAP BW as target. From SAP BW to SAP BPC and SAP BW to SAP BO reporting. So these all projects are there.
Okay. Will you give us an overview on the course content? What are the contents you're going to cover in this course? If we both of us join, on what topics will you cover? Like a course content, like you cover jobs, then transformations and CDC, or will you give us an overview on
surely I'll share it because actually I'll tell you one thing. Yesterday night only they told me that there will be a demo, so I didn't prepare any course something here. These all I'll be taking in my company. What we say, classes, everything. So I had those all the PPTs, everything ready. So I've just shared those PPTs. So actually I didn't prepare any course contents to you because yesterday night only they told me, yesterday evening. So,
okay.
Yeah. So once it is done, I'll share you the content, what will be covered and how much time it will take. And even I have to talk to them so that I have to get connection to SAP side also, non-SAP side also. Connection they should give, right?